Jean-Paul? Proceedings. Good morning and welcome to what is the project launch of the Combermere School Sport Center of Excellence. I'm your Master of Ceremonies this morning, Anne-Marie Burke. And we're going to begin with a word of prayer, and I ask the Deputy Principal, Mr. Timothy Bartlett, to come and lend his words of prayers.
Thank you, Ms. Burke. I invite you to join me standing as we invite the presence of the Lord into this launch event. Almighty God and Heavenly Father, we thank you for the ability to be here. We thank you for the blessings that you have bestowed upon us. Lord, specifically this morning, we want to invite your presence into this event, Lord, so that as we start to build out further the capacity and the legacy of Combermere, that we would do so according to your will and according to your guidance and in order to get you the glory. Father, we pray for those who are here. We thank you for their presence. We thank you for their input. We continue to ask that you would guide and bless what will be done. And we look forward to a fruitful, productive time here and a successful and a rewarding project, because we've asked these things in your Son's name. Amen. Please take your seats.
Thank you so much, Mr. Barrett. In establishing protocol, I wish to make mention of the presence of members of Parliament. We do also have some sporting legends, Sir Wes Hall, Sir Gordon Greenwich, Sir Charles Griffith, the Most Honourable Desmond Haynes. We also have representatives from the island sporting federations, including Lieutenant Colonel, the Most Honourable Jeffrey Bostic, who's functioning for table tennis today. Deputy Chief Education Officer, and she's also the immediate past principal of the Combermere School, Miss Julia Beckles. Chairman of the board and board members, and Reverend Captain Al Walcott. Principal of Combermere School, Mr. Robin Douglas, and his deputy, Mr. Timothy Barrett, who just brought us the words of blessing. Former principals and teachers also in attendance, President of the Old Scholars Association, Mr. Andrew Green and his committee, other specially invited guests, members of the media, fellow Combermereans, good morning. This morning is important to us. As our school song goes, lives are in the making here, hearts are in the waking here, mighty undertaking here, up and on, up and on. This is a mighty undertaking, and as I look out into the audience, we're going to appeal to each and every one of you in your small way to dedicate a little time, a little effort, monetary or not monetary, tangible, intangible, to making this a success for our alma mater. We want to be known to be the school that has a sports center of excellence. And since we are in the school, it's only important for me to ask the principal to come and offer his words of welcome into the school hall today.
The Honourable Dale Marshall, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs and Senior Minister coordinating governance policy. Sporting legends, Sir Wes Hall, Sir Charles Griffith, the Most Honourable Desmond Haynes. Representatives of this island's sporting federations, including Lieutenant Colonel, the Most Honourable Jeffrey Bostic, Deputy Chief Education Officer and immediate past principal of Combermere School, Miss Julia Beckles. Chairman of the board, Reverend Captain Al Walcott, and other board members. Deputy Principal, Mr. Timothy Barrett. former principals and teachers also in attendance, President of the All Scholars Association, Mr. Andrew Green, and members of the All Scholars, other specially invited guests, members of the media, fellow Combermereans. Good morning. It is my honor to move the welcome for this most auspicious occasion, the launch of the upcoming and certainly the most celebrated sporting complex in Barbados in the near future for the Combermere School. Certainly, the school has had an absolutely rich and deeply rooted history within Barbados of producing sporting greats, as we have some of them here with us this morning. It is only fitting that then such a facility should find its home here. It is almost as if the facility will now truly match the kind of expertise and skill and talent that has been forged, has been grown, has been nurtured, has been built, and then allowed out into the greater space of this nation and the world. I expect that this morning we will have an exceedingly good exemplification of it, all of its capabilities, and I expect that it will bring satisfaction to all those that are present, and that those of us who are here and those of us who are not but will be informed by those who have seen what we see this morning will be inspired and compelled to donate and to contribute to its construction and to its completion with great fervor and purpose. I wish us the very best morning, and I am confident that we will leave here with our hearts full so that we will continue to move upward and onward. Thank you.
As just mentioned by Mr. Douglas, Combermere is known to be steeped in a rich history of sporting excellence, from cricket to hockey to track and field and beyond. We have a rich sporting legacy, and to shed more light on that legacy, I invite Chairman of the school, the Combermere School Board, Reverend Captain Al Walcott, to make that presentation.
Good morning, everyone. Let me offer my apologies for being here late. A good soldier doesn't normally be late, but I had an emergency to take care of with my tooth, so I was at the dentist, and now I'm here being able to share in this moment. I believe protocol having been established, I'm honored to be able to give a presentation on this sporting legacy that we have here at this great institution. And as chairman then of the Board of Management, I'm pleased to invite you to this launch of this magnificent and bold project that was put on the hearts and the minds of those persons who, through the vision of God, would have been able to conceptualize this project, which would be of major benefit to the school, and I believe it would also be of major benefit to Barbados and sports. The sporting facility will be a gift from the old scholars of this school to honor our own sporting legacy. Combermere School has a rich sporting legacy, which have produced many great athletes at national and international levels across many different sports, where we've won many championships in cricket, in hockey, track and field, football, basketball, table tennis, chess, etc. In the time allotted to me, I cannot adequately do justice to our full sporting legacy, but I will focus on a few areas where we have made the greatest contributions at the national and international levels. Let me start with the beautiful game of football. In football, this school has produced some of Barbados' best football players, such as Elson Seal, Peter Vicious Alkins, Victor and Jerry Goddard, among others. Our soccer teams have performed consistently well over the last 15 years, and quite a few of our players have represented the island in various age group categories. In fact, the current national captain, Andre Applewhite, is from Combermere, and 4 Combermereans were also on the victorious Under-14 national team that won the CONCACAF Tier 2 championships this year. So a round of applause. We look now at netball, and we cannot forget the ladies who joined us in this great institution. And last year, the school won its first senior netball title. And that also needs a round of applause. And while the under-15 girls ended up as runners-up in that competition, Taisha Trotman was the co-captain of the regional under-16 champion Barbados team this year. Additionally, we have Keisha Watts and Rihanna Wiggins representing the island at the under-21 level. And under the astute guidance of Miss Tricia Briggs, the future looks very bright for our netball players. Athletics. And Combermere has achieved great success in athletics, where we've won the BSAC championships for a total of 11 times since 1987. And in those victories, in those titles, we've done the double twice. Most recently, this year, we did the double in the athletics. We've also produced Olympians and others who represented Barbados at other international games, such as the Carifta Pan Am Games. And these persons are Anton Norris, has been our most outstanding athlete. Anton would have medaled 7 times at the Pan Am Games level, but we also cannot forget Orlando Green. This name we should all stand for, but you'll know him as Harcourt Wason, a stalwart. Stand, my brother. And also Barry Jackman, who have represented Barbados at the Olympic Games. Switching sports, as Anne-Marie would say, we look at hockey. And the sport of hockey in Barbados is synonymous with Combermere, with a tremendous history that can be rivaled only by cricket. We must remember, if we know our history, that clubs such as Maple, YMPC Hockey Club, Cable and Wireless Hockey Clubs were all instrumentally started by who? Combermereans, such as Yusuf Graves, Mr. Ralph Watson, Mr. Cammy Burke, Mr. Ian Warner, Mr. Hammy Burham, Mr. Seymour Ullman, and Mr. Emerson Smith. There were just too many Combermereans to play for the Old Scholars because of the product, what we produce here at this school as relates to hockey. For many years, the Combermere School and the Combermere Old Scholars teams have dominated the local landscape. They won countless titles and produced significantly more national players for Barbados than any other school or institution. Thus, when we speak of hockey, we must speak of none other than Colonel Dighton Maynard. He deserves a round of applause. Colonel Maynard's contribution is the best and arguably the most successful hockey coach that has served not only this school, but he also would have coached Barbados. And in terms of producing national players, he has produced more than 60 national players from Combermere School alone, and more whilst coaching other clubs. The school has won several titles when he was coaching. Combermere played an integral role in the Banks Hockey Festival, which was one of the first and most successful sports tourism initiatives, and this festival has been running since 1989. Cricket. We call it King Cricket. In the sports of cricket, our legacy is unmatched. This school of less than 1,000 students for most of its history has produced 19 test players, 17 for the West Indies and 2 for England, 4 of whom were also captains of the West Indies teams. These numbers exclude Sir Clyde Walcott, David Holford, and Anderson Cummins, who all had brief stints at this great institution. We have also produced international one-day players for the West Indies and other countries, namely England and Canada. We've produced many players for the Barbados cricket team. And for a school this size, one will be hard-pressed to find another school in the world of a comparable size who has produced so many international cricketers as Combermere has done. Our own Sir Frank Worrell is regarded as one of the best, if not the best test captain of all time. He revolutionized how test cricket should be played during the 1960s and 61 historic tour of Australia by playing attacking cricket. That series produced the first tied test in cricket history, and 2 of our illustrious sons were integral to that result. Sir Frank as captain and Sir Wes Hall. And Sir Wes was entrusted with bowling the last over, and who held his nerve. That series brought great respectability to West Indies cricket. Sir Wes became one of the greatest fast bowlers of all time and performed a formidable partnership with his friend Sir Charles Griffith. Time does not permit me, as I said, to name all of our great players. We must also remember Herman Griffith and Manny Martindale, after whom the bowlers run-ups on the Frank Worrell group are named after. Mention must also be made of Derek Seeley, who is the youngest player to have played Test cricket for the West Indies. Our cricket legacy has been written about all over the world. And I'll give you a quote from Hindustan Times newspaper in August the 12th, 2016, under the banner, Combermere Quartet Behind West Indies Fight Back, written by Samsura Laha, and I quote, "Rarely has there been an instance in world cricket where 4 players from one school have been part of a test side at the same time. What further makes this squad unique is how 4 current players, Carlos and Craig Braffett, Roston Chase, and Shane Dowridge, have graduated from the same school in Barbados, Combermere. To make it a little bit more interesting, the coach who oversaw the program in Combermere is now the assistant coach of the West Indies, and that name, you know, is Roddy Eswick." End of quote. There were also 4 Combermereans who entered school around the same time who were on the team in England in 1966. Peter Lashley, David Holford, Raul Branker, and Suez Hall. Who can forget Carlos Brafitt's performance in the final over of the 2016 World Cup? That performance has been rated by cricket fans and ESPN staff writers in a 2022 ESPN survey to be the best performance in World T20 Finals history. Just like Colonel Maynard is to hockey, Mr. Roddy Eswick is to cricket. During his tenure of 17 years, he coached Combermere to over 30 championships. He has developed over 35 players who went on to play for Barbados, the Windward Islands, the West Indies, England, and Canada at the regional and international levels. A past chairman of the board, Mr. Vernon Williams, had the foresight to bring Mr. Eswick to Combermere as the cricket coach, and which has been a tremendous impact on West Indies cricket. Other sports. In basketball, we had great players in Dwight Rouse, Frank Williams, and Mr. Rouse was among the first, if not the first Barbadian to receive a basketball scholarship to a U.S. university. Not forgetting the board game of chess. In chess, we produced the champions Ron Buckmeyer and Kevin Denny. In table tennis, we have to mention my brother, the most honorable Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic, who's again with us. You can stand, sir, please. Jeffrey, if I might call you so, Jeffrey has been our best player in table tennis throughout the years. And in volleyball, Sean Simpson has also been outstanding. Earlier I said that time will not permit, but it seems as though I've gone on for a long time. But to really truly represent a sporting legacy, we must really hit the key points and to highlight the key persons who had an impact on this school in sports across in the region and also internationally. This project is significant to the school, and more significantly, it is to the development of sports in and around Barbados. And I believe that the initiative is one that we should all support. We should all find ways that we can ensure that the finance, and I'm sure you'll get the presentation short, this is not part of the speech, but I believe that we should all find ways that we could ensure, with God's guidance, that from the time the groundbreaking happens, that the implementation is not snagged by anything. And this sporting legacy will continue because now we have the infrastructure that can develop players at a higher level. So in conclusion, this school has left its mark indelibly on the sporting landscape, not only of Barbados, but of the world at large. We are not building this facility because we want to be boastful. We are building it because we've earned it, and we want to ensure that sports has a proper facility for the development of athletes in Barbados. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Reverend Captain Walcott. So the time has come now for us to put to vision what our Sports Center of Excellence will be. And we will have 3 presenters to do so. Those 3 presenters will be Andrew Rollins, Wayne Worrell, and Grenville Phillips II. I welcome these 3 gentlemen now to give you the vision of the Sports Center of Excellence.
Good morning, all. Protocol having been established. It's an honor and a privilege to have been asked to be the project coordinator for this magnificent project. And what we're going to show you today is the culmination of a lot of work. This project, as the chairman said, is a gift from the old scholars of this school back to the school. It is a continuation of the development of what is now renamed the Frank World Grounds, in transforming the entire area into a center for excellence. The project started as a renaming of the old pavilion after Sylvester Hall, and to honor his contribution to cricket. But the old facility was deemed not suitable for honoring Sylvester or any other personality, and work started in earnest to design a new facility and to expand its scope. The facility that you will see in a few moments represents the cumulative ideas of over 100 Combermerians, including past and present board members, 3 former principals, physical education teachers, Barbados and West Indies players, umpires, coaches, physiotherapists, and government ministers. Our females played a significant role in the design of this facility to ensure that what we are building is comfortable and suitable for both sexes. We will continue to listen to interested parties as we seek to ensure that we have a facility of the highest order. We have assembled many teams that cover the full spectrum of work that will be needed to bring this facility to fruition, including designers, architects, engineers, quantity surveyors, marketers, etc. Mr. Leon World, the designer, skillfully took the ideas of all those who worked on this project and created a work of art. All of the work that has been done by him and the other professionals to date has been done pro bono. Not 1 cent has been charged for all the hundreds of man-hours that have gone into this project. And I want to personally thank them for their efforts to date and for their dedication to this project. This is who we are as Combermerians. Now, what is our vision for this facility? Our vision is, first, to create a multi-sport complex where we can continue to build on the rich sporting legacy of this school. Second, to create a contemporary multi-sport complex suitable for hosting premier games, matches, and events, both day and night. To accomplish this, we will make provision for a lighting of the field. Third, to provide enhanced facilities for our players, officials, and spectators of all sports, including cricket, soccer, hockey, table tennis, chess, and track and field. Fourth, to create a high-performance center, sporting center, which inspires, develops, and motivates elite sportspersons towards success and promotes health and wellness. Fifth, to create suitable display areas to highlight sports and other achievements of historical, scientific, artistic, and cultural interests. Six, to create a versatile venue with desirable spaces for hosting academic, social, and other revenue-generating gatherings or activities. Seventh, to create additional teaching spaces for the school and to introduce new areas of learning to the school, such as sports journalism and sports production. 8, to honor our outstanding athletes and administrators of the past and to inspire the next generation. 9th, to redevelop the entire playing surface to ensure that we have the right layout and grass for hockey, soccer, cricket, and track and field. 10th, to develop training programs for the children of the adjoining community. This community of Bashar and Waterford has helped to shape the lives of many of us who attended the school through their support as spectators or through the provision of cheap snacks and lunches. This vision is bold. This facility should not be seen only as a Combermere facility, but as a national facility where teams can come and prepare themselves using the amenities that we will have in this structure. This facility is well positioned to help transform the Waterford area into the cultural and sporting center of this country. The National Stadium is being rebuilt. The botanical gardens have been developed. The netball stadium and rifle and pistol club is next door. And now we are building this state-of-the-art facility. Some may think that this facility is too big. My response is simply this: nothing great is accomplished by simplistic thinking. We are not building a facility only for today, but one which will serve the needs of this school and this country for many years to come. I thank you. I will now invite our project engineer, Dr. Granville Phillips II, to address you on some of the key features of this structure.
Yes, good morning. The deputy principal, Mr. Barrett, has already acknowledged God, the creator of all that is seen and unseen, the father of Jesus, the Messiah of all mankind, and therefore we have started correctly on that good foundation. Anne-Marie Burke and Principal Robin Douglas have already established the protocol for the remainder of you. So I shall be brief, I hope. There are many exceptional sports pavilions around the world. Our sports center is an improved design which should set a new international standard for school sports centers and pavilions. As you will soon see, it's comfortable, beautiful, functional, fit-for-purpose design fits within the character of the existing Combermere school buildings. The building is not intended to be a maintenance burden on the school. Therefore, it will be designed to be a durable, very low-maintenance facility. The structure will also be designed to be very strong, to withstand Category 5 hurricanes to the level of Dorian that impacted the Bahamas in 2019, and magnitude 7 earthquakes that impacted Haiti in 2010 and 2021. Normally, the engineering components of a building are hidden behind floor, wall, and ceiling finishes. We plan to make the building a demonstration project where parts of the structural skeleton and the electrical, mechanical, and plumbing networks are visible without compromising the aesthetic standard of the building. This should help teachers to explain and students to understand such building concepts. It is hoped that this will be a model of how school buildings should be designed in the Caribbean. The design team comprises Combermereans who are at or near the peak of their professional careers and are therefore both competent and experienced. It comprises architect Tyrone Mapp, who advised that we should not try to improve the existing pavilion, but should design something new and wonderful, and we honor his memory. Oh, very good. Lead designer Wayne Worrell, who met with diverse stakeholders and developed the conceptual design and is responsible for coordinating the design team. Architect Jamal Springer, who is responsible for developing realistic three-dimensional renderings and improving the designs. Architect Darren Harris, who is also responsible for improving the designs. Senior draftsman Marlon Proverbs, who is responsible for managing the digital files for submission to the planning and environmental authorities for their approval. Air condition and air quality engineering specialist Peter Thompson, who is responsible for the air conditioning design. Electrical engineer Alan Harvey, who is responsible for the electrical, mechanical, and plumbing designs. Quantity surveyors George Holder, Ron Lane, and Stephen Proverbs, who are responsible for determining and monitoring project costs. And structural engineer Granville Phillips II, who is responsible for the structural engineering design and leading the construction project team. All members of the design team are freely donating their professional services. So why are we doing this? Because of the culture of Combermere. It is a way of Combermere to maintain a legacy platform where successive generations of students may take to higher flight. We stand on the shoulders of Combermere's teachers who patiently taught us and provided a platform for us, providing a safe environment where teachers may teach in comfort should automatically benefit students. Those who teach at Combermere should know that they have a partner with the Combermere School Old Scholars Association, with satellite branches in the United States of America and the United Kingdom. The Combermere culture encourages teachers and students to keep trying. They only fail when they stop trying. Students should not give up on their studies or sports training regardless of the results. Teachers should not give up on their students regardless of their academic or sporting performance or misbehavior. We are here to help. The Combermere School Old Scholars Association comprises past students who exhibited diverse behaviors while at school, but have since matured. They are a resource to the school that should not be undervalued or underused, especially at this time. I now invite the lead designer, Wayne Worrell, to describe the Combermere School Sports Center. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, ministers, cricket legends, sports administrators, teachers, players, and as I said, ladies and gentlemen. I just had to go through that once again to start by saying that Combermere School deserves it. So, with great pride, I present to you this gift from all of the 100 or so old scholars that made a contribution towards its development. And I'm happy to put this together and this presentation for you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Combermere School Sporting Complex. From time to time, I might mention the name Jamal. Jamal is operating the video. He's also the assistant designer and architect upstairs. So you can run it, Jamal. Okay, the building will be situated in the northwest corner of the field. Well, not the field anymore, the Frank Worrell grounds. And over on that end, there will be a service vehicular entrance into the main road opposite the wall of the shooting range. The proposed building area, the footprint is only 6,000 square feet, and it will carry several restricted parking spaces on reinforced grass. And as we approach this facility from the cricket pitch, direction facing the building is facing the east, so that it captures the wind for the cooling while delivering expansive views of the grounds. And just take a look around the building before we dive into the ground floor. One of the things that you would notice is the green seating. That is actually amphitheater style, green amphitheater style seating, designed so that the grass itself appear as though it climbs up into the building and everything is seamless, as though the building grew out of the ground and not just a concrete structure that was placed on the field. If you look carefully at the ground floor, one of the things that you would see is two circles to the front left. And let's look at the home side. This is the Combermere School home side, and it is circular team changing and training rooms, each with seating and storage for 15 players plus 2 coaches. Inside of these rooms, you will see something like a wardrobe behind each seat with a mirror. There's a long hook for hanging the clothing, and there's an area for placing personal items and a socket for charging phones, etc. One of the things that we paid a lot of emphasis on was the washrooms, and the females were given like 6 different designs of washrooms, and this is the one that they pick. You will see 4 as in the main area for the players, and 2 at the back end for the officials and for senior staff use. If you look into the washroom, you would notice that it is a gender neutral room where male or female could walk in. They can do number 1, 2. They can use the toilet, they can have a faucet, and they can take a shower and exit looking fantastic. What you're looking at right now would be the stairs, which is on the left. Could you pause a bit, Jamal? The stairs, which would be on the left, and on there's also an elevator space. If you could back up a little bit, you would take a look at the elevator space, right? Correct. And then there's the general use bathrooms for male and female. This arrangement is repeated pretty much on every floor, where there's a special needs male bathroom, female bathroom, and in this area, because it's on the bottom floor, the northwest entrance, as in the entrance from the road, you will notice a reception area. This reception area leads to the wellness office or the wellness center, and ideally we hope to have a physiotherapist who can also double as a first aid person when, if any, unfortunate accidents occur. And in this area, you would have seen some lockers for the gym and also some storage for the wellness center. As you notice also, there is a laundry room. If you could pause a bit, Jamal. There's a laundry area that not only help to save costs for the school in terms of thing, you can also do laundering services for other schools and other institutions, so to create revenue. So all along, when we look at the physiotherapy area, the first aid rooms, the laundry area, and we also now take a look at the gym floor, right? We're going back to the laundry area. And when we look at the gym floor, all of these areas can be rented or can be leased and by a professional, and all this stuff is to be worked out by a management team for the facility. So that carpet area represents the gym area right there. And throughout this presentation, you would see several I would say, yellow rectangles. Could you pause a bit, Jamal? You would see several yellow rectangles. These rectangles represent multimedia screens to showcase pictures or paintings, but it would be a slide type presentation so that it would not just show a still image, but it would capture an entire story. So a lot of these great stories from many of the names that you heard already will not be lost to history, but hopefully future generations will learn and understand about what the contribution that these individuals made. Topping off the legacy area, there's going to be an honor wall. An honor wall simply that honors individuals who did us proud, and this wall is not limited to just sports people. It's also coaches, and even I saw Clifton in here. We have even groundsmen who would have assisted in many areas, and this honor wall can carry a few hundred names, and this is the black areas on the left and the right. And what we intend to do also is to leave a few spaces so that the youngsters who are aspiring to greatness can try to get themselves their name on the wall. So that is the on-field access. As they walk out of the gym area, going to the field, they will pass all of these great names and they will say, watch me, my name going to be on that right now. Go ahead, Jamal. As I said before, the stands is really concrete stands, but they'll be wrapped with artificial grass. The real grass, my research showed it caused a lot of problems where there would be sinkage, and when the rain fall, you don't want to be sitting on dirt or mud. And from time to time, it became uneven. But let's move on to the main floor. So as you ascend the stairs, you will go to the main floor where you enter the main club room. Where there will be service for food, beverages, and the sale of memorabilia items. This central floor space can be divided into, it has two multipurpose meeting rooms at either end with retractable doors. Now, the idea behind the retractable doors is to form one big open area where we can be utilized for large entertainment space, where we can have something like a banquet hall, and the features that allow myriad activities which range from meeting room rentals, to product launches, to even weddings, and as I said, banquets. So again, we are not just talking about the facility recouping costs for itself, but we are putting this and we are designing it so that it helps to pay for itself and for obviously the ongoing maintenance of the project. At this point, this is what it would look like if you are standing behind the bar area looking out onto the field. And any facility like this would obviously need to have some sort of commercial kitchen facility. So professional kitchen, complete with refrigeration and the relevant service needs, would obviously be part of the facility's design. Again, on this floor, if you look to the right, you would notice that we have the male, the general purpose male, female, and the accessible bathrooms, locker storage areas for employees, the turquoise areas there, and the elevator lift on the extreme right before the stairs, where it would obviously be able to bring a lot of the heavier items up and drinks, etc., for the use of the service kitchen and bar. On the left of the kitchen, you would have missed it slightly if you could go back a little bit, Jamal. The dry goods storage, right to the left there of the kitchen, on the left side, you would have the dry goods storage, and you also have a management office and a private powder room for the use of the manager. The upper floor, let's take a look at it, is a loft floor with a vaulted ceiling and expansive balconies to be equipped with comfortable seating. This external open air terrace, so I call it a VIP balcony, but I was reminded there's no such thing as VIP when it comes to Combermere. We are all one. Which seats an additional 90 individuals. One of the interesting design features is that the central digital wall, it starts from the bottom and stretches straight up into the main floor service area, where you have live screens where it will show something similar to a sports bar. And obviously you would have other videos showing various achievements and appropriate multimedia content. Could you go back to the main wall, Jamal? This featured wall would be designed as a blue and gold mosaic. It is rendered in such a way and carefully designed in such a way that it should look like a waterfall when you stand back from it. So it's blue and gold and white, the Combermere colors, and a waterfall, considering that the technical difficulties of putting an actual waterfall is a little bit impractical. So that is the main, the featured wall. You could continue. As I say, this open air terrace and balcony seats additional 90 spectators, and the design also have live screens, the upper balcony and catwalk, where you can offer exceptional viewing of the on-field activity and at the same time overlooking the events inside. And the two side rooms are pretty much, again, teaching, training rooms that can also be used for their multi-purpose rooms. We can use for dining. It's a gazebo style, and the green areas around it, once you have the retractable windows, if you go back to the room at the corner again, Jamal, just a little bit, the room at the corner, you would notice some greenery, and that is intended to be live vegetation. Let it continue. Live vegetation, obviously in a planter. Could you pause here a bit? Behind the main wall on the top floor, there's going to be a state-of-the-art smart room. Thank you, Ms. Beckles, for that input. A smart room that will be used as the EdTech conference room with enhanced multimedia, audio-visual, and high-speed internet for conferencing facility. In other words, any lecturer, any person offering significant sporting advice can go online and see all the individuals in the room and speak to them from any part of the world. This room would also double as a broadcast studio. You could continue. It would double as a broadcast studio, and the adjoining rooms would become the technical room and obviously the control room where students will learn sports broadcasts. So in other words, when the facility is completely opened up, it will enhance the seating comfort, and a lot of the amenities and design will capture all of the prevailing winds. I think I'm moving a little too fast. There's the top floor we are looking at. Or the video is moving a little too slow. All right. All right, good. I was saying when it's fully opened up, the prevailing winds would flood the entire area, and it would obviously have lots of natural ventilation. And if you notice these roof lines, the roof lines are pitched at an angle that is akin to the actual Combermere buildings and Combermere structure. In fact, if you look carefully at the senior school staff room, as in the headmaster's office and the staff room upstairs at the corner, we would have mimicked some of these design features so that this thing looks, when you look at it, it looks like Combermere, like mini Combermere, and not just a foreign thing that is planted into the landscape. These rooms at the side houses small offices. It would carry the staircases and also places for the media or technical staff to have a separate room to do their job. Ladies and gentlemen, this project provides the infrastructure that we always needed. I believe it's long overdue. The grounds would be improved for all sports. So it also provide areas for coaching, training, a gym, dressing rooms, bathrooms, healthcare center. And we will develop, Mr. Small's idea is to develop a sports academy. One of the reasons is because of the exceptional sporting results in Cape and CSET PE. And we want to expand that and develop a sports academy for the teaching and various presentation rooms, including the sports broadcast center. As mentioned, the idea is to safeguard the legacy, and all of these named legends will be placed on honor walls, and all the notable sporting achievements will be celebrated. There are many environmental features, including green construction and sustainable building with solar technology. As I mentioned, natural ventilation, but daylight control systems, where rooms turn off and on depending on occupancy, the lights, with sensors, water efficient fittings, rainwater harvesting for the field, and all will be placed in this facility. Remember, the facility is intended to be inclusive. It will have all that is needed for persons with special needs. We mentioned the many rentable spaces and the live construction lab, where some of the walls, and this is Grenville's baby, will show exposed plumbing, electrical, etc. And when we say exposed, we're talking about the conduits along with a schematic of how exactly the building and so forth works, so that students from technical areas can also enjoy and learn from a live lab throughout the building. Ladies and gentlemen, I will end by how I started, which is Combermere School deserves it. So it's with great pride that I present this gift to you, the work of many Combermereans, and it's an honor to do this design and to certainly continue and see this project into fruition. Thank you very much.
I'm sure you'll agree with me that what you've seen is a wonderful design, well put together, and I would like to thank Wayne for his creativity in bringing this building to drawings. Now, the question on your minds must be, how much will this facility cost? The cost of the project is estimated to be 6.2 million Barbados dollars. Construction costs, broken down as follows. Construction costs, including contingencies, 5.2 million. Equipment costs, $1 million. So the total cost of the facility is estimated to be 6.2 million Barbados dollars. Now, where is this money going to come from? We have a few strategies in place, but they are not. This is not an exhaustive list, but I'll go through some of them with you. The first thing is that we're going to call on all Combermereans including those in the diaspora and friends of Combermere, to participate in this project by making pledges toward the cost of construction. We will use our cricketing legacy to solicit funds from ICC cricket boards and franchise cricket. We will use our international players to be ambassadors for this project when they go to play the franchise cricket, wherever they go, to be ambassadors for this project, to raise awareness and to raise funds for us. Not only our cricketers, but our international icons in culture and other fields who will assist us in raising funds for this project. Because of the educational nature of this project, we will also solicit funds from designated UN agencies and other agencies that support green technology and teaching and education spaces for children. We will solicit corporate sponsorship for various rooms in the facility. For example, the bottom floor physical therapy rehabilitation area, we will approach insurance companies with a view of helping us provide the equipment that can be used for rehabilitation. Our hope is that with the ministry and the principal and the board of management's agreement, that bottom floor gym space and physical therapy area can become like a physical therapy unit for the community on weekends or when the school is not using it, to help rehabilitate people who need a physical therapy space. We are looking to partner with colleges and universities to obtain funding whereby we in turn can enable them to use our facilities in terms of coming down to Barbados for training during their winters. We'll be hosting various fundraising functions, targeting private trusts and philanthropists who have an interest in supporting sports and education. I will be doing some heavy marketing on social media platforms. These are just some of the avenues that we will use to raise the funds for this project. But I'm sure that if Combermereans put their hand to the plow, we can raise most of these funds without having to go elsewhere. So this project is being launched particularly this week for a reason. This starts Combermere Week. And we are hoping that the momentum for this week's launch will inspire our Combermereans to dig deep and to help us raise these funds. This is an achievable target for what we are offering. It is a national project. I believe that we have to also sit with government to see how they can also assist us in constructing this project, because it is also not for sports, but it is also going to provide additional teaching spaces for this school. There's another project that is part of this, which we will also be launching today, and it's called the Legacy Project. You would have heard Wayne talk about the legacy wall. You would have heard Captain Walcott talk about the legacy. And we are going out to all Combermereans worldwide from today to nominate persons who are deserving to be named or to be honored in this facility. It is not a popularity contest, but it is about gathering information about all of our past sporting heroes that we seem not to have in one central location. The intent is that at the end of this exercise, we can have a full database of all those sporting legends of Combermere and who are deserving to be named or have their pictures or plaques placed in this facility. It is not only for our players, but we're looking to honor administrators, be it groundsmen, umpires, whoever have played a role in mentoring students, not just those who play the game, but those support staff who played a critical role in mentoring students, because we want to be inclusive. So I hope that what we have presented today have excited you, and I hope that you will give us your support as we bring this project to fruition. I thank you.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for that presentation. I'm sure our appetites are now wet to see exactly what we have to offer, what we can do for our school Combermere through this sporting center of excellence. And speaking of sporting excellence, we are in the presence of many legends, including Sir Wes Hall. And I now invite him to come. Kerry, his daughter Kerry, will now come and offer words on behalf of Sir Wes Hall. Dr. Kerry Hall.
Good day, everyone. I would just like, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but West Hall will not be giving the address today, it's me. And I know I have some very big shoes to fill, but I do believe that I'm eminently qualified to do so, seeing that, a little known fact, I too came to Combermere School as a student. Granted, I went to foundation for the first 5 of the adolescent years. Yeah. But by the time I got to sixth form, he told me I was taking the joke a little too far and get in there, meaning get into the common school. And I did so, and it was one of the most memorable experiences of my life being here for those 2. Now, my dad is not feeling 100% today. There's a little something going wrong, and I've stepped up to give a few words on his behalf, and it is my distinct pleasure and honor to do so. Even though he's not feeling 100%, he came today because if you know Sir Wes Hall, you know that you'll be hard-pressed to find someone that is more dedicated, devoted, committed, or loyal to Combermere School than my father. He just loves the school. And I know it because I've lived it. For my entire life, I've been regaled with the stories of Combermere. I won't tell you today of his stories of us walking around in his community as a little boy with a bat, telling the world he was going to go to Combermere, and he was also going to be a West Indies cricketer. I also will not tell you the story about when he came to Combermere on his first day, he was flogged twice. I'm sure all of you have heard those stories over and over. And some of my most, fervent memories. And I know this from watching my father's life. He lived for Combermere Week. I remember no matter if he was a minister of government, no matter what stage he was at, Combermere Week was what he looked forward to, coming up here and playing cricket and unfairing the poor young schoolboys. And my most vivid memories were him and people like Branford Tate and the Franklin brothers, right here in this corner, singing lustily up and on that social that used to be a part of the Combermere Week. And it made me understand that there was something very special about this school. I know there may be some haters out there, but I know that there's no other school, not just in Barbados, but the world than Combermere. There's just something special. And even though, thank you, I only came here for 2 years, I remember sitting up there in that balcony in awe at what I saw. This fraternity, it was something that was inexplicable, a je ne sais quoi of sorts. And to see my father, 77 years after he first entered this Hollow Hall, keep coming back again and again over the decades, and everyone else, there's something magical when you walk through those gates to come to this school. And even though I came a little late, I still felt I was touched a little bit with the magic. And that's why my father is here. That's why I'm standing here on his behalf to speak to you, because this initiative is extremely important to him, because not only is Combermere dear to his heart, and he is a past student, but he also was one of the greatest cricketers in the world, that the world has ever seen. And he was also a former Minister of Tourism. So all his worlds intersect right here with this amazing initiative that we have been presented with today. So on behalf of my father, and I dare say even the Hall family, I will extend it to all of us, I'm here to give his full endorsement to this wonderful new initiative. Even sitting there looking at it, this is the first time I've seen it. I know that he has been involved from the inception. Many, many calls on Saturdays with the committee. He is on the phone with, I don't know how many used to, they said over 100, I don't know if 100 of you are on the calls, but it used to be the committee on the phone, and he would be sitting there answering the call every single time, helping with the conceptualization and everything else that this project needs. And even though I wasn't involved, sitting here today seeing the culmination of those long hours of having those meetings, I am actually blown away. This initiative is amazing. You thought of everything. The gift of the old scholars. I give kudos to the old scholars for giving this wonderful gift, not just to Combermere, but to Barbados and to the world. This sports center of excellence, this multi-sport complex, which is going to do many things, namely to develop the next generation of sporting greats in Barbados, which is in line with the amazing legacy of the Combermere School, contributing to as I said, the strong legacy, promoting health and wellness. And there was something you said that I thought was interesting, the whole issue of sports tourism, because you're also seeking to bring teams from overseas. And a facility like this will go a long way, because in order to get sports tourism, we need to upgrade our facilities. And this facility, I dare say, is a model to be not only emulated, but benchmarked across this island, if not the Caribbean. So I commend you for coming up with this amazing, amazing facility. Now, by speaking to my father about this in terms to get his thoughts, not only is a facility like this timely and extremely important, and he kept bringing up the fact that whereas everything we saw today was amazing, he kept saying the part that is they're making provisions for both men and women, girls and boys. And he kept sticking with that and saying, Carrie, you hardly find that. Most facilities are made for men, because traditionally these sports have been male-dominated, but special provisions are being made for females, for their comfort, especially as we find female sports being on a serious upward trajectory on a global scale, for you to have the foresight and the vision to be able to specifically cater for our female athletes. That is something that is very special to him. And the fact that, as I said, Combermere is a pioneer. Combermere has produced some of the greatest athletes and human beings in the world, not just in Barbados and the Caribbean, and this will allow you to carry on that amazing and magnanimous legacy. Lastly, because I'm going to be short, and yes, I am Rez's daughter, but I'm going to be short today. I would like to thank the organizers once again for bestowing this honor. I know that the old facility was named after, or the former facility was named after my father, and I know that you want to name it after him. But if there's one thing I say about my dad, he is the consummate, ultimate team player. He leaves no man behind, and he wants to share this facility with others. So it will be named after several greats that he felt that that would be most fitting, rather than just name it after him. And we want to thank you, though, for carrying through with this. As I said, this initiative here. I speak on behalf of my dad when I say that over his lifetime, he's received many, many honors, many magnanimous honors. But you can be rest assured that this honor of having this pavilion with his name on it, he will hold dearest to his heart, because it involves his beloved Combermere. To have this facility with his name, will be immortalized in the hallowed halls of this illustrious institution, is one of his greatest achievements. And I would like to thank you once again. I would like to thank everybody who's come today. I would like to thank everybody who plans to donate to this amazing effort. And I'm sure, I'm not seeing anybody smiling. Right. And I just wish you all the best with this endeavor, and we look forward to the day that we come back here to break ground. And I'm sure my dad will be here, and he looks forward very, very, very much to that day. So thank you once again. Ladies and gentlemen, and thank you once again to the organizing committee.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hall. I now invite Mr. Michael Small, the head of the Physical Education Department, to come and move the vote of thanks.
Senators Gregory Nichols and Kevin Boyce, cricket legends Sir Wes Hall, Sir Gordon Greenidge, Sir Charles Griffith, and the Most Honorable Desmond Haynes, representatives of the island's sporting federations, including Lieutenant Colonel the Most Honorable Jeffrey Bostic, MacDonald Fingal, Chairman of the National Sports Council, Chairman Captain Reverend Al Walcott, and members of the Board of Management of the Combermere School, Deputy Chief Education Officer Acting, Immediate Past Principal of the Combermere School, Ms. Julia Beckles, Principal of the Combermere School, Mr. Robin Douglas, Deputy Principal, Mr. Timothy Barrett, former principals and current and former teachers of the school, President of the Combermere School or Scholars Association, Mr. Andrew Green, President of the Parent Teachers Association, Mrs. Stacia Armstrong, project committee members, other specially invited guests, members of the media, fellow Combermereans, and friends of Combermere. Good morning. I am honored to propose a vote of thanks to all of you who joined us here today for the media launch of this exciting, ambitious project. On behalf of the organizers of today's event, I first want to thank specially invited guests representing government and a wide cross-section of the sporting fraternity in Barbados. This event would not have been possible without the hard work of many, whose names you may not have heard today, but whose tireless efforts were critical to the resounding success of this media launch. We are grateful to our presenter, fellow Combermerean, Ms. Anne-Marie Burke, to Captain Reverend Al Walcott, who led us in prayer and gave an insight into the rich sporting history of this school, Mr. Andrew Rollins, Mr. Wayne Worrell, and Mr. Grenville Phillips III, who ably presented their visions for the sports complex. Our featured speaker, well, the speech was delivered by his daughter, but unapologetic Combermerean Sir Wes Hall, and the principal, Mr. Robin Douglas, who gave the organizers his full support for this launch, which comes at the start of his 6th week at Combermere School as principal. Today, we were privileged to have a first look at a project which, once it becomes a reality, is expected to transform the capabilities not just of student athletes of this school, but of amateur and professional athletes within this community and across Barbados. Having had our interest piqued today, we eagerly look forward to receiving further updates from the committee as they move along with this project. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. At this moment, I think it is fitting that we stand up and sing lustily the Combermere School song. Lives are in the making here, hearts are in the waking here, mighty undertaking here, up and on, up and on. We are arming for the fight, pressing on with all our might, blooming wings for higher flight, up and on, up and on. Up then, true his fame lies in high endeavor, Play the game, keep the flame burning brightly ever. Up then, truest fame lies in high endeavor. Play the game, keep the flame burning brightly ever. Foes in plenty we shall meet, hearts courageous scorn defeat. So we press with eager feet, up and on, up and on. Ever upward to the fight, ever upward to the light, ever true to God and right, up and on, up and on. Up then, truest fame lies in high endeavor. Play the game, keep the flame burning brightly ever. Up then, truest fame lies in high endeavor. Play the game, keep the flame burning brightly ever. Up and on.
Thank you so much, Mr. Small. And with that, that is the end of this morning's proceedings. Thank you all for attending, and we do invite you to enjoy some light refreshments. Thank you.